Hey everyone, it's Rose again, and this is Cher. And today I'm going to be talking about what to do versus what not to do when trying to lose weight. So let's get into it. Alright guys, so today's video is based off of a request from a viewer that I got, and I will put that comment up here on the screen somewhere. I believe the girl's name was Samantha, so thanks Samantha for the suggestion. So I just want to talk a little bit about my background and why I feel like I'm qualified to talk about some of these things. My bachelor's degree is in exercise science, so that degree kind of prepares you to go on to grad school to become like an exercise physiologist, or it's a degree basically to train you to be a personal trainer. So after undergrad, I did a internship at a YMCA and I did personal training for some people while I was there, and then I went on to grad school to become a physical therapist. So I have had some experience training people to help them lose weight, and I've also gone through weight loss myself. In college, I of course gained like the freshman 40. And once I got towards the end of undergrad and into grad school and I was working at a gym, I ended up, working out like 7 days a week and changing how I ate and everything. And I ended up losing around 25 pounds in that process and have been able to, for the most part, keep it off with a few extra pounds here and there now that I can't get to the gym 7 days a week. But I'll put a picture up of my before and after with that. So the first things I'm going to be talking about are things to do when losing weight, and these are really in no particular order. These are just kind of how they popped into my mind and then I wrote them down. So first thing I want to talk about is exercise. And exercise doesn't have to be like going to the gym and working out for an hour and like hardcore cardio or anything like that. Basically, what I mean when I say that is just move more than you're moving now. Even if it's taking a 10-minute walk every night when you get home from work, or, parking at the end of the parking lot instead of as close to the door as you can get so you have to walk farther. Basically, just do whatever you can throughout your day to move more than you're moving now. The next thing is drink lots of water. Drinking water, number one, is good for your internal organs, helps keep you hydrated, and it's going to keep you feeling full throughout the day rather than you feeling hungry, like 2 hours after eating. The next thing that kind of goes along with drinking water is eating higher fiber foods, because just like drinking water, foods with high fiber are going to keep you feeling fuller longer. The next thing is measure out all of the food that you eat. Especially in America, for whatever reason, our portions are like way bigger than our portion needs to be and what it should be. So we have like a really bad misconception of what like one portion of spaghetti should be, or one portion of, chicken breast. So my suggestion would be, Google serving sizes of whatever, or even on the nutrition label of whatever it is that you're eating, look at what one serving is and then measure that out on like a food scale, or even just using like a measuring cup. The next thing would be track your foods. If you don't want to count calories, I would still recommend just tracking the food that you eat, because it's going to help you realize how much food you've actually consumed throughout the day, instead of like you thinking like, well, I really haven't eaten that much, so I could eat something else. I would recommend tracking it and writing it all down so you know exactly what you've eaten throughout the entirety of the day. The next thing I have is weigh yourself and take your measurements. So this is something I would say to do before you start your weight loss journey. So not only weigh yourself on the scale and write that down, but take your measurements like around your waist and around your bust and whatever else you're interested in tracking, because sometimes you're not going to see the scale go down, but you will be losing inches around your waist and your belly and your thighs and hips. The next thing I have is listen to your body, and I mean that when you're eating and also when you're exercising. This is something I tell a lot of my patients now, like when they're like, well, can I go out and, walk 3 miles? And I always say, well, listen to your body. And what I mean by that is if you're at the gym and you typically are there for an hour and a half or an hour or whatever it is that you're there for, and you're 20 minutes in and you're exhausted, stop. you don't want to, overtraining is a thing. You can actually injure yourself by training too hard, and your muscles will actually start to break down if you overtrain your body. So it's important to listen to what your body's telling you, and if you feel like you've gotten a good workout in and it's not for as long as you want it to be, it's time to stop anyway, because you don't want to hurt yourself. Also, listen to your body when you're eating. If you have a plate of food in front of you and you're halfway through it, but your stomach is telling you it's full, stop eating it. You don't need to keep eating. If you feel full, don't force yourself to eat it just because it's sitting in front of you. The next thing I have is be aware of NonScale Victories. So that goes along with the taking your measurements. So just because your weight isn't down, you may have lost some inches around your stomach. Muscle weighs more than fat, so if you've been building up muscle, you are going to weigh more just because muscle is weighing more than fat. Also, another NonScale Victory would be something like your clothes fitting you looser, or you just feeling more comfortable in the clothes that you're wearing. The last thing I have is change your mindset on your relationship with food, and this is something that I had to do last year. I started eating a clean diet, and it was amazing to me to go to the gym and be half an hour into a workout and still feel like I have a ton of energy because I was eating clean. And I'm not trying to push a clean diet onto anybody, but it was just amazing the amount of energy I had from just switching my diet to clean eating. The other thing that I mean by change your mindset on your relationship with food is I would always look at food as a reward for myself. One of my guilty pleasures is ice cream. So whenever I was happy about something or proud of myself for accomplishing something, I'd be let's go get ice cream. And one thing that you need to change, and the clean eating program kind of showed me that food is fuel for your body. It's nothing more than that. So what you're doing, the reason you're consuming food is to fuel your body to accomplish the task that you need it to accomplish. So that's kind of how I had to start looking at food instead of seeing it as a tasty, fun thing to do. All right, so now I'm going to move on to things not to do. Number 1, do not weigh yourself daily. This is going to screw with your mindset. You fluctuate weight, 2 to 3 pounds either way, daily. The most I would weigh yourself is once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks, because that's when you're truly going to see where your weight is at. It's not going to be it's not going to change from day to day for the most part. Another thing, do not get discouraged if the scale doesn't say what you want it to. So this kind of goes along with, celebrate the NonScale victories. So just because the scale isn't going down, don't get frustrated. There's other things are your energy levels better? Do your clothes fit better? Those are things that you need to focus on if the scale isn't moving the way that you want it to. The next thing is do not give up if you get off track one day. So if you have, if you go to work and there's donuts that someone brought in and you have one, don't let that ruin everything that you've already done. So if you have one bad day, if that causes you then to go and get a burger at lunch or whatever it is, start over the next day. Or start over at lunchtime if you had a donut for breakfast. Do not let it affect you to the point that it just throws you completely off and you are a week into eating really crappy food and not going to the gym and then being oh, now I gotta start over. It's easier to just stay on that track and just keep it moving. The next thing is do not stop eating completely. This one's pretty obvious, but you have to fuel your body to be able to go out and do exercise. So you need to keep consuming food. I get that, some people, I want to lose weight, so they just basically stop eating. You have to continue to fuel your body to be able to get it to do what you need to do throughout the day. The next thing is do not get intimidated by the gym. This was something that I was super guilty of when I was younger, going in and seeing all the big guys throwing weights around, and it would be I don't want to go over there and be in their way. Number 1, no one's paying attention to you at the gym. They're all way too worried about themselves. And the other thing, I would get really timid about going into group exercise classes because I was everyone's gonna look at me and think I'm dumb. But again, when you go into those classes, number 1, they're all really welcoming and excited to have you there. But number 2, they're too busy worrying about themselves to be looking at you and worrying about what you're doing. The next thing is don't be afraid to ask for help. So what I mean by that is many things. If you have questions about nutrition or anything, you know, reach out to somebody that you might know that knows anything about them. You can ask me if you have any questions. You can ask down below in the comments. I will definitely answer them. I try to look at every comment. The other thing is the employees at the gym are there to help you. So if you are at the gym and there's a piece of equipment that you want to use and you're not sure how to do it, ask them for help. That's what they're there for. The next thing, don't reward yourself with food. I kind of already touched on this a little bit about changing your mindset with food, but I feel like a lot of times people reward themselves for like a job well done with some kind of food. You know, every holiday, that's like what we revolve around, is the food that we eat. So again, it's just, you're gonna have to change how you reward yourself. Like if you go out and see your favorite movie, or if you go buy yourself a new shirt or a new necklace or something like that. It's just, you're gonna have to find different ways to reward yourself other than going out and eating something. The last thing is, do not overthink it. Bottom line, when you're trying to lose weight, you have to have a calorie deficiency. So you have to consume less calories than you're expending throughout the day. So again, that's why I'm saying it's important to track how many calories you're eating, and then also track your exercise so you know how many calories you're burning. So burn more calories than you consume every day and you're going to lose weight. One last thing I want to touch on before I end the video. I've talked about it before in some videos, but the healthy way to lose weight is around 2 pounds a week. Why we say 2 pounds a week is because it's a healthy weight to lose, and it means that you're doing it in a sustainable way. So if you are like going hard at the gym and burning like 1,000 calories and like barely consuming anything, and you're losing weight really, really quickly, that's not something you can keep up for the rest of your life. So if you're going to the gym and working out for 30 minutes or an hour and consuming, depending on how big you are, or if you're a man or a woman, like 12 to 1,500 calories, you're going to lose weight and you're going to lose it slowly. So it's easy for you to do it that way, and it's something that you're going to be able to keep up for the majority of your life. Again, keep in mind that weight loss is a lifestyle change. It's not just like a temporary thing until you get to where you want to be and then you stop and go back to the way you were. It's something that you have to maintain throughout your life in order to be able to maintain a weight that you're happy with. Alright guys, that's all I have for today. I'm sure there's stuff that I forgot, and when I edit this I'm going to be mad that I forgot to put it in here. But if there's any other kinds of videos that you want to see from me that aren't related to Amberlynn or anything like that, leave those down below. I'm definitely open to suggestions on things that you want me to talk about. I want to thank you all for watching. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to hear more from me, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you get notified when I upload. I always leave my Twitter and Instagram linked in the description box, so you feel free to follow me on those. I want to thank you again for watching, and I will see you in the next one.